Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
Of course, we always love doing this. And Mom, how's your day going?
Brandon, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing just dandy.
That sounds great, Brandon. Are you ready to talk about Mad About You?
I sure am.
That's great. And we're talking about the 2019 revival, continuation. Go ahead, Brandon, name it.
Yes, it is a revival continuation. This is the beginning of season 8 of the series from 2019.
Yes, and I'll give just a very, very quick synopsis of the series itself. Basically, and I will give a very quick synopsis of the series itself to include the first episode. Mabel is going to college, and that in itself summarizes the whole series along with the first episode.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And Mom, before I ask you about your thoughts, since we have never spoken about the show before, are you able to give a brief synopsis as to what is the show Mad About You? What it's about?
Mad About You is about a couple, Jamie and Paul, and they were single for a very long time. Toward the end of the first part of the series, which aired maybe 20, 25 years prior. I'll let you give the dates for that later. But anyway, at the end of their first version of the series, they had a daughter named Mabel. Mabel was a baby when the series was canceled, or I should say, when it ended. And now we jump ahead, and Mabel is now ready to go to college. And Paul and Jamie are back again as parents to this child, or a young adult, rather.
Well, I said thank you again for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And overall, what did you think about, I'll just say, at least the first 2 episodes of this revival season?
I absolutely loved it, Brandon. I have seen this multiple times, and I have laughed out loud each time that I've seen it. So I thoroughly enjoyed this series. Just so everyone knows that we have seen all the episodes. We went back later and rewatched the first couple again, but we have seen all the episodes, and we really liked it.
Yes, we definitely have. And so, for a little bit of context, so the original run of Mad About You lasted for 7 seasons, going from 1992 to 1999 on NBC, and then in 2019 it came back for a as a limited series, 8th season that had 12 episodes, but it was made for Spectrum Charter Spectrum Cable, which we don't have. The first 2 episodes were released online for everyone in 2019, and then for the rest of everyone that doesn't have that cable, like us, they made it available to watch in 2021.
Yes, it did, and we binged while it came on, and some of the things that kind of went on during the revival of the show was that Paul and Jamie actually begin to adjust to adult life without their child, and so and whether or not, and then they also talk about not just adjustments for them in their marriage, but they also talk about the adjustment of just being down the road from their daughter, because they do emphasize that she's just 5 blocks away. And if Jamie is able to go a day with perhaps not speaking to her daughter, not in a bad way or anything like that, but just can she go a day without speaking with her daughter? And so watching that has been kind of entertaining. And so, especially since I've had college children here too. And so it was fun to kind of watch her go through this cycle of life.
Yes, and I'd say one of the funny things about this were actually just even my background. So you've seen the original run of Mad About You.
Yes, I have.
So whereas for you, of course, you watched the original one and then you came back for that 8th season. For me, I started off watching the 8th season before going back to the original seasons, and so it's kind of funny being able to see them at the present, so to speak, and then going back to see them, when, yeah, decades earlier, and so it's kind of fun being able to see them. Would you say that this season lives up to where the original one left off, or even how the characters are portrayed?
I thought they did a good job of consistency. And so I will say it lived up to the standard as what it was when it was on originally.
Yeah, so I would say from even though I haven't seen as many of the original run episodes as I'd like to, I will say from what I've seen is that it does, in my opinion, live up to it. And even though it does, I guess, retcon the original series finale, I think it parallels it though.
It does a really nice job of paralleling it. So I thought they did, like you said, a good job with the with the revival.
Yes, and so overall, I liked how these first two episodes, and actually let's focus on episode one, but how it focuses on them trying to readjust back to, to their life and trying to figure out that they have no idea what that even looks like.
Yes, that is true. They don't know what their life is like. They're not. They're having a hard time trying to recreate what it was like, prior to having their daughter.
Yes, and that leads straight into episode two, where Mabel has to have Jamie sign a contract saying that she will not communicate over a certain period of time. I think it may have been like 48 hours, where she's unable to communicate with whether it be like Instagram, Snapchat, text messaging, or any social media created between between that period.
Yes.
And Mom, I have to ask: would you continue watching or rewatch this eighth season, or Mad About You in general?
Yeah, actually, I would rewatch it again. And like I said, we did rewatch some of the episodes. So yes, I would rewatch it again. Like it was a pleasant time watching it the first time, and watching it again is not a problem at all.
Yes, I will say that this season did such a great job at tying everything back, but also having new story. I think that's the hard thing about revivals is having a new story to concentrate on.
It is. It is. And the thing about revivals is it has to make it seem seamless. And I thought they did a good job of making it seem seamless. We had some of the old characters who came back also, and so it was nice to kind of watch them kind of progress.
Yes, and earlier this year we actually had a little time for our channel where we spoke about different revivals, remakes and restructures. And so one of the things that we had said there is some acknowledgement of the change. And so for this, at the very beginning of the two episodes, or for the first one, they had it where they were talking about, well, what if you walked into a restaurant and you saw people that you hadn't seen in like 20 years?
Yeah, they poked fun at it. So I mean that was fun too. Yes.
But yes, and so what would you say is I guess the thing that you liked the most about these episodes in the revival?
Well, I like that we got to learn quite a bit about Mabel because Mabel for us is the person who we did not know. And I like that they created a character who is kind of how I envisioned Mabel would be as a young adult. We know that she's independent, and that's kind of like how Jamie is kind of independent. She's an independent person. We know that Jamie is the hovering parent, as you can imagine she was because she was when Mabel was a baby during the original run. Paul actually ends up being the sensitive one, and which makes sense with Paul, and it goes with his character. We learned that, of course, that Maple Storm is 5 blocks away, so even though they're adjusting, their daughter's just right down the road. But it was also fun to see every time that Jamie would go to the dorm room and she would just be sitting there, when Mabel would come back from class. Um, so I think the with this particular revival, it did answer the question of I wonder what they're doing. And so I thought they did a nice job of just showing how the whole group progressed.
Absolutely. And speaking of group, I mean, even the other supporting characters have come back for the most part.
Yep, they did. They sure did. And it was nice to see that they let Lisa return, who is Jamie's sister. We had Mark come back, and Mark is now remarried to Tanya. We saw Ira, and so it was nice to see all these characters return.
Absolutely. And I don't feel like none of it to me felt forced.
No, none of it to me felt forced either.
Yes, even their landlord, Mr. Wicker, was still there.
Yes, yes, he was. He was. The only thing that felt odd to me was the fact that they were able to expand that bedroom or the bedroom outside Mabel's bedroom that should not have existed. I think so. I guess they had to take someone's apartment. I don't know in order to get that.
You're saying it's not natural to have an extra room on the other side of the bathroom?
Not natural at all.
But yeah, I like that they're able to at least have that consistency, with the show, and I feel like they had some fun with it too.
Yeah, I think they did too. They did.
Yeah, I mean, I know the original run had some outlandish plots, but I would say that this revival, I mean, is probably one of the few shows I think that we could go through every episode and just like be on the ground laughing.
Yep, very true. Very, very true.
But yes, but mom, we have some connections.
Oh, what are our connections, Brandon?
So okay, our first one is of course with Paul Reiser.
Yes, and what did Paul Reiser do, Brandon?
He was on My Two Dads that we just spoke about.
Yep, he sure was. Sure was. Do we have any other connections?
So we have an interesting one for the first episode of this season titled "The Kid Leaves."
Okay, and what is that?
Okay, so Paul Reiser is also the one of the creators of the show, but for this first episode, Helen Hunt, who plays Jamie, and Paul Reiser that plays Paul, um, they actually helped write the story for this episode, and then Paul wrote the script. Paul Reiser wrote the script for it.
Oh wow, wow, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. In addition to that, the director of the episode was none other than Helen Hunt.
Oh wow, wow. Well, that's good. Well, at least they were, like I said, they as producers or creators, they have moved forward in their lives. So I think that's wonderful.
Yes, and so I'm glad that they were able to, I mean, to get some sort of, I mean, say in the direction that this revival was able to go, because I know sometimes, like maybe like the writing vision and the directing vision and the acting vision might be three completely different things when shows come back. But I'm glad they were able to, I mean, to have that sort of say within this revival.
Yeah, I am too. And also, Brandon, I was happy to see that they left the theme song be the same. And
Oh
it,
yes,
yes, it is catchy and singable. So I absolutely love the theme song.
yes, I love this rendition of the theme song, and I mean, I think it fits so well for the direction that they're trying to go with the show, keeping it, um, yeah, the same words, the same sort of flow, but modernized a little bit.
Yep, same here. And then, Brandon, sometimes I like to rate the shows, 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. I gave this one a 4. We've seen some fives, and this one wasn't quite a 5, but I thought it was so well written it deserves a 4.
Yes, and I would say that this is a very funny four to me.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And mom, is there anything else that you want to say? Like I said for Mad About You.
No, no, just for those people who are looking for something to watch, who watched the original series. If you want to see how the characters move forward, I think Mad About You, the 2019 version, is a good show for you to watch.
Yes, it disappeared for a little bit from existence, but thankfully, Hulu was able to bring it back alongside the original 7 seasons.
Yep, it sure did. It sure did. All right, Brandon, I appreciate it and enjoyed speaking with you about Mad About You today.
Yes, I certainly do with you as well,
All right, everybody, have a great day.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye, everybody.